Welcome to another Before You Buy. Now, the last time I did one of these was about a month or two ago, back when Heroes Online 2 was officially coming out. Now, Heroes Online 2 was a little bit but I think this is actually a series I want to continue when it comes to paid access games. Mainly because it kind of gives you an overview on whether or not you actually like the game and whether or not it's in your best interest to purchase the game or not. I like these sorts of discussions. And there are actually quite a few games that are going to be paid access that are coming out that are actually of a good quality or a decent substance. So the series is going to continue for a long time coming. And I do want to quickly address, for those of you guys saying this sort of content is a little bit unoriginal and you're just copying the original Before You Buy, yes, to a certain extent, it is kind of using an already existing formula. However, that's literally what everybody does on YouTube. And since nobody actually makes derivative content on the Roblox niche, I thought, why not me change up the scene a little bit? Anyways, that's enough yip yapping. Let's get straight into today's video. Well, Sorcery is officially about to close to the public. The public playtest that lasted 2 weeks is coming to a close. And that means you will not be able to play the game for free anymore. Now, according to the owner of the game, the next playtest will be available in a month or two. And if you don't buy waived access, you won't be able to see channels inside the Discord server, and obviously you won't be able to actually access and play the game anymore. Now, the owner has stated that by the time the next playtest comes around, there will be a lot of content added to the game, which is honestly very promising. Now, we are obviously here to discuss Before You Buy Sorcery, and we are all aware of the current content that is in the game. Right now, the only things you're actually able to do is hop in game with minimal customization, do the tutorial, or choose to skip the tutorial. And from there on out, you essentially just level up by doing missions. That's honestly it. So you do missions until you're level 50, and then you do your CT quest, or should I just say Curse Technique quest, which is essentially finding the orb, which a lot of people have been struggling with, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm not too sure how. As well as that, after you finish that, the parkour quest, which is more understandable to struggle with because the movement in the game can feel a little bit stiff sometimes, and I'm not gonna lie to you, the parkour quest can be a little bit tricky, but not impossible. After doing your CT quest, you unlock your Curse Technique, and then you're able to actually use your abilities. And then once you get to level 99, through doing missions again after that, you are finally able to go into culling games. Now, one thing about this game that's pretty cool is obviously once you level up your Curse Techniques, not only do they get stronger, but some specific abilities actually kind of evolve. So I know with, let's say, Gojo's technique, the blue move, at first all it is some sort of move that hits you from the front. However, when it's max upgraded, Hollow Blue actually circles around you and pulls opponents in, which is actually really cool. A lot of people did not know that. And obviously, to upgrade your abilities, you need purple gems, or you just need gems that you can find in the mission. And essentially, everything cool in the game that you are able to obtain is obtained through missions. And yes, eventually you can get your domain expansions, etc. But after that, that's about it. You go into the open world, run around and just kill other players or hang out. There's not actually much to do in Sorcery. So, do I think the game is worth 400 or 800 Robux? As it is right now, probably not. But there are a lot of people that really enjoy this game's combat, as I do as well. And if you do enjoy this game's combat system, maybe dropping 400 Robux isn't that bad, because it does help support the developer. It does help the developer fund other developers and gives him the motivation to work on his game more, and that way updates actually do come out at a faster rate. So if it's purely for the sake of supporting the developer and just because you want to play an interesting game with an interesting PvP system, and I do think Sorcery right now has probably one of the best combat systems on Roblox. It's up there with the likes of Deep Woken, Type Soul, etc. It's definitely within the top 5 in terms of combat mechanics. So if you do want to experience a game with good combat functionalities, Sorcery might be the game for you. And if you want to continue playing it and you've been playing for free all this time, yes, the game is definitely worth it. However, if you feel like the game just doesn't have enough content, this game definitely might not be it, and you might want to hold off on spending your Robux. But, and there's always a huge but here, pause. The owner of the game did say the next playtest will be in a month or two, which means if you save your money, hold out for a month or two, the game will be free to play and we'll have another playtest in due time. And within that next playtest, you are actually going to be able to see if the developer actually added good, sustainable content. And if the updates to the map, progression system, and content is good, after that playtest, when the game eventually closes again, you will officially know, okay, now the game is in a state where it has content, it's more entertaining, and there's been a lot more updates to what we last played. Then the game will officially actually be worth the 400 or 800 Robux that you might be willing to spend. Because the owner has said he wants to include and add a bunch of new different ways in order to actually progress in the game. Currently, what we have right now is missions, and currently, along with missions, there are invasions where players can actually come into your mission, invading it, and that mission will actually include you having to eliminate the other player in order to succeed. And those missions actually tend to be the most fun because there's actually player interaction. But as well as that, he said in the future he will be adding PvP in order to progress. Now, the best way I can compare this to is Chime of Conflict from Deepwoken, where you load into a ranked match, low levels against low levels, high levels against high levels. It'll probably be dependent on your grade, and then you fight against another player. When you win inside of Chime, you gain sorcery levels or you gain EXP, and you get probably a chest that gives you drops, or the drops just automatically go into your inventory as they already do now in order to progress. And then he said he wants to add another way to progress through open world. Now, open world progression, I'm assuming that's a mix of PvE and PvP. Maybe more along the lines of a rogue lineage type of progression, which I think would suit this game really well. So if there's a nice incorporation and mix of open world exploration and instance-based exploration in terms of progression, I don't know why I said exploration, I meant progression, that would actually do this game wonders. But again, as of right now, it currently isn't in the game, so you can't base you buying the game off of something that doesn't actually exist. So if you ask me, Revolver, is it worth me buying Sorcery right now? I would probably look at you and say, no. I do want you guys to hold out, wait a month or two, and see how much of the game is expanded upon. Content, sustainability, everything. And once the next playtest comes and finishes, then you'll be able to know if the game is honestly worth the Robux you're about to spend. But if you're impatient, which is understandable since there's nothing else to play on Roblox, then the game may be worth the money. But that's definitely and ultimately up to you guys. So let me know what you think in the comment section down below. This was the second installment of Before You Buy, Roblox edition. And I'm gonna see you guys in the next one. I love and appreciate all of you. Hit the like and subscribe button if you haven't already. I'm gonna see you next one. Peace.